Okay. Last one for the night. Somebody said, how do I manifest a gray Tesla? And you can manifest anything you want to. A gray Tesla is ones and zeros and energy, just like money, just like anything else that you create in your reality. So you need to look at the amount of time that you've been wanting this Tesla or whatever it is that you want to manifest and your belief system. If you've been wanting this for a long time and you haven't done anything to change the way that you believe about yourself or the things that you're doing, then it's not working. And you have to try something different, because reality is created from the variables and inputs in your environment. It's going to continue to create that reality with the same variables and inputs that it knows. So if you don't believe that you deserve a Tesla, if you don't believe that you are somebody worth a Tesla, and you believe in your basic underlying way that you have to have a perfect credit score, or you have to have a down payment, or you have to have all these things, then you are limiting what you can create in your reality. So you have to expand what you know and what you're doing so that you can give yourself more variables, more input from your environment for it to create from. Meaning that you have to start thinking of yourself as somebody who already drives a Tesla, who deserves a Tesla, because you do. And you have to acknowledge the thoughts and the feelings and the belief systems that are already there. Of course you think that way. Society has been built this way. You've learned this from when you were a child. So of course that's going to be something that you have to overwrite. Your reality is being created from what you know. So in order to create a new reality, you have to give it something new. And you have to rewrite the old programming, which is you have to have the money, you have to have the credit score. And then you have to rewrite it with, I'm open to magic. I am open to receiving a gray Tesla, however it comes to me. And you can be open-ended. And then you can start thinking of yourself as somebody who drives a Tesla. And instead of just visualizing a Tesla and you driving it and the feeling of you driving it, because that does work and that you should do that too. But start to tell yourself good things about yourself. Start to feel good about yourself. And when the thoughts come up and the resistance comes up that says you're not going to get it or you shouldn't believe that, understand that that's just old wiring. That's just old programming. And acknowledge it. Of course you feel that way. Society has told us that this is how it works. And then you can also start looking at other people who have manifested all kinds of things, who have won the lottery, who have gotten this and that and won different things for free. Because the more that you give your brain, the more that it has stuff to create your reality with. So read stories about people who won. Read stories about people who've gotten things for free, because that tells you it's possible. And then start to think of it in that possibility. Start to think of yourself in a good way, as somebody who deserves it, as somebody who's going to have it. And change yourself, because that's what changes reality. So read stuff, go look at Teslas, I'm sure you already have, and continue to imagine yourself driving them. And remember, be aware of that resistance that comes up. Be aware of that underlying belief system that gives you resistance and says the only way you can have a Tesla is this way. Because those underlying belief systems are variables and inputs that you need to override, because that's what is continuing to create the reality you have. So open yourself up to more. Start giving yourself more variables and inputs for you to create reality from. And believe it. And you believe it by your thoughts, by acknowledging the thoughts that come up in the form of resistance, and then rewiring them and telling yourself what you actually want. Hope this helps.